The modern world wants you to be weak. If you're a teenager or a young man like me, if you're in my generation of men, you look around and you see every single signal in the world is pointing you towards trying to be weak. You look at social media, you look at TV, you look at news. It's like they all have the same agenda. They all have the same goal of subverting you and trying to make you weak. You've heard all of these talking points over and over again. You've probably heard things like men should be feminine. Men should be in touch with their emotions, that men are not needed in society anymore. People have literally been brainwashed by feminism to think that men and women should be treated equally and that men are the problem.
Do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives. Only one.
You see every single piece of media pushing you towards this consensus that you are not needed and that you are completely replaceable. To do this, they feed you garbage food. Think about the food you eat during school. Is that anything anyone wants to eat? Or even think about fast food, the food that's literally curated in a lab using chemicals to make you addicted. Do you think they do that for your benefit or so that you get addicted to them and they make you weaker? Think about the modern idea of success. The modern idea of success is to spend your whole youth studying, going to college, get $100,000 in debt, just to spend 70 years of your life trying to pay it back. But don't worry, once you're 70 years old and all your youth has gone, your entire life has been stripped away from you, then you could finally retire and enjoy it. By that time, you might have diseases, you might have diabetes, and worst of all, you might not even have children by your side to take care of you because of how they destroy the family structure. And all of this sounds so bad, but look, I didn't even get into religion because the worst thing the modern world is doing is taking religion away from you. Without faith, you're stripped of any purpose to live because Allah says that our purpose in life is to worship Him. You look at the way the world is conditioning you and you realize the modern world wants you to sin because to them, you sinning means profit. Look around and see how common music, remixing, every single immorality, look how easy haram is to get now. And Muslims are the ones that are painted as the enemy, because we're the only ones trying to preserve family and trying to preserve faith. These are literally the most important things that build society. Society is built from families. When you destroy the family, you destroy everything else. And now when you push in feminist ideas, ideas of homosexuality, and all of these things that destroy the family, what do you think happens to society? The modern world values happiness so much, but it's a complete paradox because only in this time is the suicide rate the highest it's ever been in history. If you look at us Muslims, we're the only ones truly talking about these important issues. I mean, just look at Pride, for example, and look at how Christianity deals with it. Even the Pope is now normalizing homosexuality. If you walk into a church, there's a good chance they'll have a rainbow flag on Pride Month. So now it's obvious why Muslims are the enemy. We're the only ones standing up for these important values that actually build society. You could look around and see all of the problems spawned by the modern world. People are not happy, and people are not living fulfilled lives. But the thing I want you to know is that we completely deserve it. If you look around at us, me and you, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, we are weak, and we are the reason why the world is weak. We are the reason why important values are not being pushed. Worst of all is if you look at the modern Muslim. The modern Muslim has given up prayer, has given up Quran, has given up their religion, and instead now we're focused on things like video games, on social media, on consuming YouTube content and wasting our time. I look around and I see so many issues, but most of all I realize that we are weak and we are the reason why everyone is suffering. And if you look at the world with things like what's happening in Palestine, we are the reasons why the Muslims are suffering. The Prophet ﷺ actually mentioned this. He mentioned that there would be a time where everyone would be against the Muslim forces, but we would still be high in number. The problem is we'd be so obsessed with the worldly life and we'd forget about the hereafter that fear would be placed in our hearts regarding the non-Muslims. You look at Palestine and this is what's happening. All of us Muslims are scared. We don't actually truly want to preach our religion. And I want this to be a wake-up call because the truth is things are only going to get worse. You hear people talking about rumors of World War III and this and that, but truly I want you to think about the fact that in our lifetimes we haven't participated in a war. Maybe our parents have or maybe our grandparents have, but that means that we're in dangerous territory. I don't want to scare you, but this is honestly a true possibility. We might be the victims of World War III or something dangerous. Now look, if you're watching this, you're probably not like the average person. You probably don't want to stay weak. The good news is, it's so easy to get ahead in the modern day. All you have to do is use your time wisely. Because everybody, even Muslims and non-Muslims, are completely wasting so much of their time. There are so many things you could do to manage your time better. You could do things like schedules, routines, but the bottom line is you need to value your time higher. You need to understand that no one's going to change your life except you. And not only that, but you literally have the capacity to change the entire world. I want you to take on this level of delusional confidence, because the truth is, whether you think you can or you can't, you are correct. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to not stop making dua to Allah. Check out Clean Islamic Streetwear in the description. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.